Tonight's coverage of high school girls basketball. Tonight's a Northwest Suburban Conference rivalry as the Osseo Orioles come to Maple Grove to take on the Maple Grove Crimson. Hello and welcome to Maple Grove High School. John Jacobson along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, two teams each coming in 3-1 on the season, but different teams than we've seen take the floor the past couple of seasons. Pretty young squads for both Mark Cook and John Reeser.
Well, yeah, and you touched on it, John. They both lost a lot of experience from last year. Both teams very successful last year. Both teams, they've split the season series the last 2 years. Anytime you get Osseo and Maple Grove together, the rivalry is on. And tonight's going to be a really, really good game.
The Orioles coming off a big win against Champlin Park, a team that's ranked and highly regarded in this conference, and Maple Grove suffering its only loss in its last game against a very good Centennial team. So they're trying to bounce back while Osseo's trying to keep the momentum going off the win over Champlin Park.
Well, and we talked about it in our last broadcast, John. Sometimes early season losses, they're not a bad thing, especially with young teams. You're still trying to identify your scorers, your role players, and all that. So losing early, sometimes if you learn from it and you come back, and what a better way to learn from it and bounce back on a rivalry game here tonight.
We talked about each team being young, but they do have some experienced players, and our key players tonight fit that bill, starting with Osseo and senior Isle Port.
Well, I tell you what, I loved watching her play last year. She does everything, a jack of all trades, master of none, if you will. She's tough, she's scrappy, she's not very tall, she's a fierce rebounder. She can score, she's averaging right at 10 points a game. I expect her to be in that 10 to 15 points and rebounds tonight, and she's a great passer. And as we talked to Coach, she guards usually the other team's best offensive player, so she kind of does everything. Very important for her to have a good game here tonight for Osseo.
And for Maple Grove, a senior guard Kayla Jones.
Yeah, and Angie Davison, who they lost to graduation, was a phenomenal scorer. They're kind of their floor leader. Kayla is exactly that. She's got to be a scorer. She is their leading scorer, but she can beat you in so many ways, John. She can attack the basket, great athleticism, but she's also got a very nice shooting touch too. I think as the more aggressive she can be, the more aggressive Maple Grove is, and they kind of go as Kayla goes. So she's going to have to come out. I look for her to get a really quick early start tonight.
Girls-boys basketball doubleheader tonight between Osseo and Maple Grove. We'll tip it off with the girls game in just a moment on 12 Sports.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool. You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Welcome back to Maple Grove High School as we set for tip-off Osseo and Maple Grove. Let's look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Osseo Orioles, their backcourt, Ariana Jones, 5'4" sophomore, Maddie Malone, a 5'5" senior, and Kiara Russell, a 5'7" sophomore. In the front court, Azaria Reed, a 5'8" freshman, and Io Port, a 5'11" senior. From Maple Grove, Cora Bourbonnais, a 5'7" senior, is one of the starting guards. Also Haley Parker, a 5'4" junior, and Kayla Jones, a 5'8" senior. And their forwards, Julie Haggard, a 5'10" junior, and Allie Winter, a 5'10" senior. Good student section on hand for this rivalry game tonight between Osseo and Maple Grove. And for more on that, let's go down to the third member of our broadcast crew tonight, Alicia Nunez. Alicia?
Thank you, John. Yeah, you touched a little bit about the rivalry between Osseo and Maple Grove. If you dig a little deeper, you'll see this rivalry goes way back. Their youth programs are actually combined, like in-house leagues and traveling leagues, up until 8th grade. And so they're very familiar with each other. One player who just got out of these traveling leagues is Osseo's Azaria Reed. So she's leading the team in a couple games with points. So she's definitely a player to keep your eye on tonight. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Alicia. And Azaria Reed, who you just talked about, was the younger sister of Xavier Reed, who was an outstanding player for Osseo boys not that many years ago. And now it's probably learned a tip or two from her older brother, and now a good player as just a 9th grader for these Osseo Orioles.
Well, you know, it's not uncommon, John, for the younger sibling. Sometimes they almost end up being the better player because they're forced growing up, all the AU tournaments, state tournaments, traveling. You're around it all the time, and you end up getting your butts beat in all the time, and you end up being really tough by the time you're in high school.
You mentioned the boys' game will follow here tonight, and it's always fun when these teams play, no matter the sport. We've done a number of these games in basketball, football, and hockey, and whatever. It's a good time.
Well, and we kind of touched on it. I mean, all these girls, all these guys, they all know each other. They play together in the off seasons. Their AU programs are joined, and so it's a little bit more personal. You know, when you're going against someone, you want to prove to them, you know, you want bragging rights at least for the time being, and it means a little bit more. And it's fun to see the student bodies of both teams too just fired up. They were here about an hour early, John, you know, chanting their school colors. So it's just a really fun atmosphere, and it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be really, really close here tonight.
Pretty balanced scoring attacks, too. If you look at the top 3 scorers in each team, all within a few points of each other, and in that bodes well long-term for your team when you don't have necessarily one star player. You've got a number of players that can put the ball in the hole. And we are underway. Opening tap controlled by Osseo. They quickly get it down, and an easy 2 on the layup for Kiara Russell, one of the sophomores starting for the Osseo Orioles.
What a great play right off the tip there. That was a design play. There's no better way to start the game than getting a quick, easy layup, get 2 points on the board, you get a lead like that, and a great, great start.
Ball off the hands of Julie Haggard on the block. Back down to Osseo. Reed's got to kick it out, have the double team. 3-point try for Ari Jones, comes up short, and the rebound by Kayla Jones for Maple Grove.
You know, we talked about Kayla Jones. She's a great scorer, averaging almost 15 a game. She's also the second leading rebounder. So she's very active both on the offense and defensive glass.
Whistle, and we had a foul. Going to be whistled on courts defensively.
You know, and that's huge, John. We did a few of her games last year. When she gets in foul trouble and is out of the game, Osseo is a completely different team. She does literally everything for this team. And she picks up an early one. She's got to really play hard here without fouling. You can see Maple Grove smartly going right at her.
They've called for traveling is Haggard, who's trying to back down Port on that play. And so turnover. Give it back to the Orioles with an early 2-0 lead. Jones front court, now to Port.
It's funny, John, watching this Osseo team without Janae Morton and Phyllis Webb, you know, such a mainstay for years. You know, both remind me of Scottie Pippen-like players. They were just active and everywhere and very athletic. And there's a really nice spin move, too, by Azaria Reed. She's got 4 early points, too, John.
Well, 4-0 in favor of Osseo. Crimson looking for their opening basket. They've got a couple of turnovers early on here. Haggard now top of the key, now goes down low through the hands of 2 Crimson players and out of bounds. So 3 possessions and 3 turnovers for Maple Grove. As you look at John Reeser, second year head coach at Osseo. Last year 22-10, got them to the state tournament. They finished 4th in Class 4A a year ago. Another basket by Reed. She's got 4 points. Kiara Russell with 2, and an early timeout for Maple Grove and head coach Mark Cook.
Yeah, that was a great, Akeem Olajuwon would be proud right now watching that footwork. But yeah, you take a look, she catches it. She's not very big, doesn't have great size, but watch this footwork. It shows the ball, power dribble, spins back. That's a great, great low post move right there. The previous play, John, Maple Grove ran a great design play to get the ball down low in the post, and it was there. The Osseo defender was fronting them. When you do that, you have to put a little bit more lob on the ball, get it over the defender. And part of making great post players is getting good post feeds. You gotta have someone that can get you the ball in a position to score.
There's Mark Cook, 9th year head coach at Maple Grove, 19-8 a season ago. And both of these programs with success over the years, and both have been in state tournaments under each current head coach.
When we talked too, John, how are both of these teams this year losing? You know, Angie Davison was, to me, one of the best players I saw play last year in girls basketball. I think the game against Osseo here, she had 30-something points, and then you go on Osseo's side, you know, losing Janae Morton and Phyllis Webb, so they lost basically their identity. So it's a new year. It's a fun opportunity for a lot of these younger players to step up, but for these coaches that have relied on those players, it is kind of a new challenge for them too.
Russell got a hand on that ball, knocked it out of bounds to be inbounded by Cora Bourbonnais. Really, Bourbonnais and Jones, the only girls with a lot of varsity experience for this Maple Grove team. Allie Winter passing it over to Jones, right side. Haley Barker, 5'4" junior with it now. Barker, the crossover, will back out the dribble.
Well, if you watch too, John, Io Port, who we talked about on defense, she's fronting down low against Julie Hager, doing a nice job too of not letting her touch the ball down there.
And that shot comes out, ball tipped out of bounds by Maple Grove. So the Crimson get a shot there, doesn't go down, but no turnover in that possession. It's still there without a point. First substitution of the game, Maple Grove's Kenzie Barta. It's another sophomore that's into the lineup. Barta, good size guard, 5'9".
And let's see if the Crimson here can get a play, a steal, a block, some type of momentum play, kind of spark their team, get their spirits, the intensity picked up a little bit for them.
Ball through the hands of Malone, a turnover for Osseo. Missed shot at the other end, it's out of bounds. Went off the side of the backboard and out, and so another possession for the Orioles.
Well, that was Bourbonnais. She's averaging second on the team, 9.8 points per game. Good score, used a nice left hand there, just didn't get quite enough touch on it.
Pull-up jumper by Russell is good. And Russell's got 4 points. Russell and Reed accounting for all 8 points.
That's beautiful textbook basketball. Shot fake, one hard dribble into the lane, and that the art of the lost mid-range jumper right there. That's a tough play to guard if you can make that shot consistently. Great move.
Haggard, turnaround over Port, missed. Rebound to Reed. Osseo quickly to the front court. Malone. Skip pass across to Jones, down on the block to Reed. Turns inside to Haggard. Didn't get it to go. I don't know if Haggard got a piece of that or not, but it's Jones coming back the other way. Kayla Jones from Maple Grove.
And Hagert's long. She's got good height, long arms there. Was able to get a piece of that. Maple Grove's got a little size advantage, but I have to give the athleticism advantage to Osseo. And they're making Maple Grove work, John. There's nothing easy coming on the offensive side of the ball here for Maple Grove. See if they can get a backdoor or just a nice, easy play get some points. Sometimes it just takes a, one play to get some points on the board, and then all of a sudden.
Following Ari Jones a moment ago, second team foul on Osseo. Lob pass in was tipped, turnover, and back comes Osseo the other way. Russell off for Malone. Drew some contact, lost control of the ball, and it's back to Maple Grove. And then Malone gets the steal back for Osseo. The Jones and back for Maddie Malone. Russell comes in, tried to get the bounce pass for Port. And it's out of play. So each team a little sloppy with the ball last couple possessions.
Yeah, and Russell had the right idea there. She got to the middle of the lane, drew the defender, had Io Port down low, just couldn't quite deliver that bounce pass. But she had the right idea. You drive, you penetrate, you get another girl to guard you, and you drop it down. Just got to execute that. And here's a set play here for Maple Grove. You can see Osseo's doing a great job. They're getting in the passing lanes. They're denying that first pass. They're making Maple Grove start their offense about 25 feet away from the basket. That's tough to do. It's tough to initiate a play call out of that set.
Courtney Calkins is in for Osseo, 5'7" junior. Calkins out defending Bourbonnais. Jones, her shot comes up short, fouls her own shot, and they kept it alive. And possession still Maple Grove. Knock away by Russell, out of bounds.
And you can see again another tip ball. Osseo, very athletic. They've man-to-man principles right there. They're really doing a nice job, John, sliding. They're not allowing Maple Grove to catch it in their comfort zone.
Mary Eckberg, a 5'11" junior, in for Maple Grove. And for Osseo, Haley Swanson, a 5'8" junior, into the lineup. Kenzie Barta gives up the pass to Jones. To Bourbonnais, steps into the lane. 12-footer rolls in. First points of the game for Maple Grove go to the senior guard, Cora Bourbonnais.
Yeah, and Cora does a nice job. She's got real nice balance. She's patient. Nice rhythm to that move. She got in the lane. Great touch. Like I said, John, sometimes just getting that first basket to fall takes the lid off the rim.
Port whistled for traveling.
And Maple Grove fortunate there. It looked like she drew some contact, maybe be going to the free throw line. Instead, it's a turnover, and again, now you're starting to get a little bit of momentum and see if they can get another basket here.
Open player driving. Port gets the block shot, and then Jones is fouled by Port. Port thought she had another clean block, but the second time she's called for the foul. Blocked Allie Schmidt's shot, but then whistled for the foul against Jones.
Well, that looked like a pretty clean block from up here, John, but that foul is important for two reasons. Number one, that's going to be Io's second foul. She's going to come out of the game. They're a different team without her in there. And thirdly, you're getting Kayla Jones, a dynamic scorer who had missed her first shot, hasn't really gotten a flow going. You're getting her to the free throw line where she can get a rhythm. She makes both of them now, and so that's kind of a really big foul right there, and Io Port's going to be out of the game here with two early fouls.
Malone double teamed on the sideline, in some trouble, able to release the pass. Open as Calkins uses the glass and scores. Took the pass from Swanson and puts in her first points of the game.
Great unselfish basketball by the Osseo Orioles. They find the open man there, able to make a jump shot, and there's an answer for Maple Grove.
Mary Eckberg with a three. First three-pointer for either team, and then Osseo turns it over.
What a weapon, John, to have a 5'11" junior come off the bench there and have some range, knocking down a perimeter jump shot. She does a lot of her damage down low, but there steps out. And if Maple Grove can, that's key to them. They've shot the ball, especially from three-point land this year, really, really well. If they can continue to shoot like that, stretch this Osseo defense out, that's going to open up, Kayla and other people to get to the basket, get easy buckets as well.
That pass for Maple Grove results in a turnover for them.
Well, we talked to Coach Cook before the game. He said we cannot turn the ball over against these guys. And they've been a little sloppy so far on offense, and a lot of that's contributed really to good pressure defense by Osseo.
Driving, tough runner by Russell, not good, but she's fouled and will go to the line to shoot two.
You know, that's the thing, John, that last year, you know, Janae and Phyllis, when things weren't going well and the offense wasn't moving, they both had that ability to just break a defender down and get to the rim. And, you know, I don't know if it's going to be Kiara Russell this year or Zaria Reed, whoever it's going to be. You can see Osseo does have some players that that have that ability to just get to the basket, draw fouls, get a couple of easy free throws.
That foul was on Barta as Kiara Russell knocks down both free throws. 5-point Oriole lead. We get a foul, an offensive foul whistled on Allie Schmidt. Trying to get possession on the defender. It's her second foul. Excuse me, her first foul, second team foul on Maple Grove. Malone front court for Osseo. Bounce pass into the paint, and Reed whistles for traveling. Trying to make a move on the taller Schmidt and shuffled her feet.
Well, and Reed, you know, Zaria, she's only a 9th grader, John, so she can see she lacks a little bit of that strength. She had great position there, had a nice fake. She's just got to get that strength to step through and finish that move off.
And a steal for Osseo. Reed gets it to Russell. Ten and a half minutes to play here in the first half. First of 2 games tonight on this Tuesday night from Maple Grove High School, live on Channel 12. Down to the block, Reed shot up, not good, out of bounds off Russell.
Well, and I like the idea by Azari there. She caught the ball below the basket right there. What she's got to learn how to do is take that power dribble, almost like you're backing your butt out, clear some space, get an angle where she can use the backboard. That's a tough shot when you're shooting almost backwards towards the rim, but she got great position, and I love that Osseo's really looking for her down low.
Whistle will get a foul on Reed. That's her first, 14 foul.
Well, Coach Reeser taking a gamble, getting Isleport back into the game with those 2 early fouls. You know, she's almost just like a spark plug, John. You know, you look at the box score, she might only have 8, 10 points, but she gets her hands on a number of tips. She gets a ton of rebounds. She'll even rebound and lead the fast break. She's very unselfish.
Jumper up and not good by Schmidt. Jones couldn't get the follow-up to go. Osseo quickly back onto offense. And in the front court, Hawkins, there's a 3-point try, and that is good. Kiara Russell has had a good game so far on the offensive end of the floor and defense. Getting in front of those passes, and she's netted 9 points already, Ryan.
Yeah, and she's only a sophomore, so you can see this Osseo team is very youthful, but they're getting some invaluable experience, and they're very talented, too.
Nice pass from Barker down to Barta for the easy layup for Maple Grove. 15-9. Maple Grove coming back with the basketball. They trail by 6. A spin move by Barker and unable to get it go. Jones was tied up for a moment, gets fouled, and will shoot 1.
That is just a straight up effort play, and I looked like there was going to be a jump ball called there. And at the last second, it looked like Kayla maybe ripped that ball away. Let's see if we can see this. She's been really active too. Great spin move, but she's been active on the offensive glass there. You can see there's that power dribble, that back up. It almost looked like Osseo stopped for a second thinking they were going to get the jump ball. And instead, it's just a great effort by Kayla Jones, and she gets a chance for the 3-point play.
Here's Malone, lob pass down for Reed. And Port, who's back in the game, able to take the pass from Reed and put it in.
I mean, what a play. She gets the defensive rebound. She starts the break, throws it ahead. They get it in the post. She's the trail cut right there. They get it back to her, and she finishes the layup. I mean, what more can she do on a single play? That's why she is so valuable to this Oriole girls basketball team.
Down low, and then Port loses the ball out of bounds.
That's a turnover. They're going to give that to Port, but then you gotta, Maddie Malone, you gotta give your post guys a good chance to catch the ball where they can do something once they get that catch. It's hard, John, getting the ball down by your feet and then going into a scoring move. You know, and those attention to detail, that's what drives coaches nuts. These are things that we do drills every day on, working on our passing, our feet in the post. You got to do them and execute them in the game. Give your chance, at least a team a chance to score.
Knocked away from Bourbonnais, out of bounds. Still Maple Grove basketball.
Well, you talked though. I mean, both teams off to a 3-1 start. I think both coaches would take that at this point of the year with a lot of newer players and losing a lot of experience. Both teams' losses have came against pretty good opponents. You know, Osseo to Park Center, Maple Grove to a very good Centennial team.
Ball out of bounds off Maple Grove.
Have you seen Centennial play at all?
I've not, no.
Very talented, deep. They got some height. They're athletic, very well coached.
Osseo's led all the way. They jumped out to an 8-0 lead to start. Now we're past the halfway mark of the first half. They're up by 6. Port, nice bounce pass to Reed, up and in.
That is basketball 101. Give and go right there. And you can see just the basketball IQ of Io Port. She flashes high, catches it, doesn't hold the ball, great vision, and a nice reverse layup too. You don't see a lot of that in high school. Great job using that rim as a shield for a reverse layup. Beautiful, beautiful basketball. Yeah, and you watch this, just a great touch pass, no hesitation whatsoever. And you have the freshman, Azaria Reed, who's their leading scorer at over 11 points a game. Beautiful, beautiful touch there with the reverse layup. That's great basketball. It's fun to watch. You know, John, just watching early in this game, you kind of notice the difference is that there's
nice
an easy
shovel
run.
pass off in the basket made by Ekberg from the pass from Haggard.
I was just going to say, you see Osseo getting easy buckets and Maple Grove really having to work for them.
Port double team, still able to get the shot up, uses the glass nicely and scores. Isle will be playing next year in Minnesota Duluth. Played on a North Tartan under 14 team, Ryan, several years ago, now 4 years ago. They were national champions. And a lot of those girls, most of them will be playing college basketball next year. Kayla McMorris of Park Center, another one, is on that team headed to Wisconsin next season.
Well, Io's one of those girls that I don't think she'll ever be an All-American or a superstar. But if you ask her teammates, they all want to play with her. They all want her on the floor. She's one of those in practice when you do a 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 drill. We want her on our team because you just know somehow she's going to impact the game and help you win.
Russell misses the shot and a rebound by Schmidt. Maple Grove trying to get a little run going before halftime. 3-point shot missed by Ekberg. Foul up in the lane. Wouldn't go down on the follow-up try from Haggard. Another 3. This one from Barker won't go. And finally Malone rebounds for Osseo. Bounce pass ahead to Jones. Ari Jones. A little hard off the glass and rebounded by Ekberg. Front court to Schmidt, and she lost it through her hands. Another Maple Grove turnover.
Well, Maple Grove, in that last possession, they got 3 offensive rebounds. They had chances there. Those are shots that they're generally knocking down, and tonight they just haven't fallen. Meanwhile, Maddie Malone says that's how you make a 3-point shot.
And a timeout taken by Osseo after the made 3-pointer by Maddie Malone, her first basket, and her team with an 11-point lead.
Yeah, and look at the depth. She's a good 3 feet behind the 3-point line. Defender in her face. It doesn't matter. She got great arc on that. I remember her from last year, John, when she sets her feet and isn't taking kind of a wild shot where her feet aren't moving. She's a very good shooter. That time she had her feet set, defender right up in her. It didn't matter. She knocked it down. And Osseo's got a nice rhythm going on offense, inside and outside. They've knocked a couple 3s down. Had a lot of good post play down low and nice balance so far.
Game 2 tonight on Channel 12. Osseo and Maple Grove boys. And should be a good one. Jay Wilcox and Ariel McDonald calling that one for us.
Can you do that move, John?
I don't know that I would want to. And I don't know they would do it. But if I was 16, you know, maybe.
Yeah, that's just part of the festivities, the fun. You know, I was talking to both coaches too. Just about this game is usually played on a Friday night. You know, wondering if that would impact maybe the wildness or the excitement in the crowd. But it seems to be, you know, pretty enthusiastic and a really high energy crowd here on a Tuesday night.
Probably a little bit smaller than what we've seen in the past. That still could fill in more for the boys' game coming up. No, Maple Grove trying to get something going here, trailing by 11 points, and that will help. Michaela Jones three-pointer.
Well, and that was good offense. Haley Barker drove, penetrated, drew a defender, and you can't leave Kayla Jones, their best scorer. You got to have an awareness on her. And there's that outside in, high-low action right there, dumping it down, and you got the freshman again, Azaria Reed. She's off to a great start here in the first half.
Assist to Swanson, Reed with 8 points. Now 10-point game with under 5 minutes to play in the half.
You know, and that last play was great penetration. We haven't seen Maple Grove have a lot of luck penetrating, getting anything towards the basket.
Jones, 12-footer, drops through.
And I like that. She's taking what the defense is giving her. They're backing off of her, forcing her to make that mid-range. She accepted it, didn't try to do too much. Instead, buries it. She's hit 2 in a row. That's a good sign for this Maple Grove offense.
She has half of their points so far. Reed in some trouble, dribbles through, reverse, a little too strong this time off the glass, and the rebound to Jones.
She missed that, but that was a heck of a move right there. That's a hard move to make too, especially as a freshman.
Bourbonnais drives, glass and good for her. Cora with 4, now a 6-point game. The whistle and will have a foul on Maple Grove. So be on Haley Barker, her first.
Yeah, watch Bourbonnais. This is the second time she's used that left hand. She does a great job. Shows the ball for a nice shot fake for you youngsters at home. Drives hard left. That's how you finish with your offhand. And John, do you remember last year in this game, Maple Grove went to their zone defense, and it really slowed Osseo's offense down. And again here, Coach Cook electing to go zone, seeing if they can get this Osseo offense out of rhythm again. And so far, 2 possessions, 2 long jump shots, and no points.
Malone missed on the 3. Barker being patient out top. Now nice bounce pass, but Schmidt unable to handle it. Had an inside step on her defender Calkins, but couldn't get the ball.
We got to do one of 2 things there, John. You either got to lob that ball over, or you got to bring the ball, dribble it further to the baseline where you get a better angle. That's a tough angle to go right from the wing like that down low when a defender is half fronting like that. They got to either have get a guy out of there, bring it down low, get better angles, because their post players are open. If they can get them the ball, they'd have great position.
Port traveled up and down.
Yeah, nice way, you know, Osseo attacking that zone. You get the ball in the middle like that. That's what you want to do. And just good defense, good recovery there by Maple Grove to force a turnover. Nice block. You get the feeling too, John, that, you know, other than Kayla, she's caught fire here. Thankfully for Maple Grove, she's really picked it up. But Maple Grove seems tentative. Their other players seem real tentative on offense.
They get a steal on defense. It's just a 3-point game now. Ball ahead to Barker. Bourbonnais to Barker.
There it is.
Lob down low and up and in for Haggart. Just like you drew it up a moment ago, Ryan.
That's the angle. If you can't get it further down on the baseline, you got to go over the top right there. Great job.
Another knock away by Haggart, and defensively she comes up with a play and scores at the other end, and Maple Grove has the lead for the first time.
Great job of adjusting here by Maple Grove. And again, this zone defense really caught Osseo off guard. It slowed them down, and it's got their confidence going on offense too.
11-0 run for the Crimson.
There you go.
Reed takes it to the hole and scores.
That's how you attack a 2-3 zone. You put your best playmaker right at the high post, right on the free throw line there. Get her the ball, let her make decisions, either attack the basket or create plays for someone else. That was great offense.
Baseline right, ball spins out for Haggard this time. Head to the front court, off Reed's hands, able to save it and get it to Port. Port spins at the block, can't get the shot to drop. Bourbonnais rebounds.
And you just feel, John, the energy picked up a little bit. Maple Grove playing with a spark, playing with some passion, and it's showing.
Barker out high, Bourbonnais for three. Can't get it to go, out of bounds. It's off Russell, and it's still Maple Grove basketball.
Well, we talked too, John, in the opening about, Kayla Jones and her ability to score in such a variety of ways. She really attacks the basket. But tonight, she's made a living shooting the jump shot. A couple of threes, a couple of mid-range. She's attacking the offensive glass. She's got great diversity on offense.
Jones getting it into Kenzie Barta, and she scores. And Maple Grove back in front.
And it's contagious. You see a teammate knock a shot down, all of a sudden you say, hey, I can do that. And then all of a sudden Maple Grove is shooting the ball very well from the outside, and then clawed back from a big deficit to take a 1-point lead.
Russell going baseline, missed off the glass. They fight for the rebound, tie up between Barta and Russell. Ultimate possession will give Maple Grove the basketball with 46 seconds left in the half.
Well, this is nice too. Maple Grove, obviously 45 seconds. Let's see if they wait for one shot or if they're going to just play and try to get a good shot regardless of how much time is left.
Baseline drive, Haggard in some trouble, able to kick it out to Bourbonnais, and she traveled.
Yeah. Bourbonnais had the right idea. She attacked the middle there, drew some defenders. It just looked like she got caught with the ball in her hands. And had the right idea, though. She was going to kick that out for an open look at the top of the key. It almost becomes kind of a 3-2 defense. It's like a matchup, John, where these guards, see how there's three defenders out on the perimeter.
Shot missed, baseline rebound, then a steal by Russell, gets it back, and she'll go to the line for two.
What a big play right there. Big turnover. Kiara Russell alertly turns around, grabs that ball, and here's what it does, John. Otherwise, we're going down Maple Grove with the chance to hold for the last shot, maybe get a 3 or 4 point lead. Instead, Osseo now, with these made free throws, could go into the half with the lead, and you always feel better going into the game at halftime on the road in a big rivalry game if you got a lead. So that's a huge momentum play by Kiara Russell.
And Russell gets 1 out of 2. Rebound on the miss by Haggard.
And you got a foul to give too if you're Osseo.
And there they give it.
Smart play. That disrupts that rhythm. Nothing going towards the basket. Now you're inbounding side out of bounds. 3.5 seconds left. So that's a very smart play by number 3, Ari Jones.
It's her second foul. 3.7 seconds to play. Inbound to Barker. She'll have to hurry her 3 at the buzzer off the mark. But a strong close to the first half for Maple Grove. Now we've got a tie game at halftime, 29-29. Pretty good basketball so far here tonight, Ryan.
It really has. You got to give both teams credit. Osseo on the road, rivalry game coming out to that great start. And then Maple Grove just had no life on offense there. Look really slow and methodical. They come back, they get Kayla Jones going. All of a sudden, other players are scoring. They claw back. They get a lead. Osseo answers. So great first half.
Let's go down courtside now with Alicia Denez and Mark Cook.
Yes, thank you, John. Coach, you were down by 11 at one point. Now you're tied at half. What was the change of momentum for your team?
Well, I thought our defense picked it up there towards the second half of the first half. I thought our zone gave them some problems, but we're still making some bad decisions with the ball in our hands. So we got to take better care of the basketball.
You're heading into the locker room right now. What are you going to tell your girls to be prepared for the second half?
Well, Osseo does such a great job of creating havoc. They cause you to do stupid things with the basketball, and we've got to do better. We've got to make adjustments to that, and they're a well-coached team, so we know they're going to make adjustments. We got to make some too.
Well, best of luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Alicia. Thanks to Mark Cook and John Reeser. We'll hear from him as we come back before the second half for Osseo. 29-29 our score. Brian and I are back with our intermission. More coverage of high school girls basketball from Maple Grove High School after this timeout.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winnicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
When I was 16, I was in a bad car accident, and the doctors told me I would never stand again. Somehow, I knew I would. Progress has been slow, but family, friends, and strangers all started to pray for me.
Whether you need support in a tragedy or just to make it through a bad day, prayer can make a difference. America, let's come together by believing with each other.
For someone to come alongside you and say, I'm going to believe with you, it means a lot.
Oh, hey, bud. Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
With Alicia Denius and Ryan Iverson, I'm John Jacobson. Welcome back to Northwest Suburban Conference Girls Basketball. Maple Grove and Osseo tied at 29 here at Maple Grove High School. And highlights from the first half of play. A good start for the Orioles. Azaria Reed getting 2 points in the paint. Another big score for them early has been Kiara Russell. Really played an outstanding floor game for Osseo. They jumped out to an 8-point lead. Cora Bourbonnais finally getting the Crimson on the board. Io Court able to score in the paint for the Orioles. Great give and go there. Court to Reed for 2 more. And at the other end, Maple Grove able to do the same. Eckberg from Haggard for 2. Court in some trouble here and showing the toughness to be able to get that shot up and in. Bourbonnais driving for 2 and scoring. Maple Grove came on late in that first half, and they were able to tie it up. Reed and Russell, 10 points each. The top Osseo, Isle Port with 4 each. For Maple Grove, Jones has 12, Eckberg 5, and they have 3 players tied with 4 points each. So Brian, pretty balanced scoring at the bottom end for Maple Grove. Jones leading the way, and for Osseo, 20 of their 29 points coming from 2 players.
Yeah, getting to Maple Grove, John, I thought Mary Eckberg was huge. She checked into the game, 5'11" junior. She knocked down that 3-pointer, kind of got that lid off the basket. And then she had that nice give and go, another layup. And the other key too, Kayla Jones, just kind of relentless. Knocked down a couple of perimeter shots, all over the offensive rebound. She started to put pressure on them. And on the flip side, you got to be really impressed with Russell and Reed. 9th grader and a sophomore doing a lot of damage down low. They were really, really big spark plugs. Osceo's got to get back to getting that ball inside. And if Maple Grove stays in this zone too, it seems to stifle Osseo for whatever reason. And it kind of slows them down. They get a little bit more tentative. So I expect Maple Grove to come out in that zone as well and see if it works in the second half.
Osseo coming back out onto the court. We talked about their 3-1 start and their impressive win over Champlin Park. This would be another big win for the Orioles if they could get one on the road here. They've got one more game before the holiday break. They'll host Armstrong on Thursday, another game you'll be able to see on Channel 12, and Maple Grove trying to bounce back from that loss to Centennial. They will take on Coon Rapids at Coon Rapids on Thursday. Let's go back down to the court. Alicia's standing by with John Reeser.
Yes, thank you, Coach. What was Maple Grove doing at the end of the first half to slow offensive production for you guys?
Oh, they went into a little zone, and we were expecting that. We saw what they were doing. We just didn't handle it very well. We had some good looks after we figured it out. The ball didn't drop. So we talked about that at halftime. We know what to do. We know what to expect. We knew it was coming. We just didn't handle it real well.
So what changes are you looking to make in the second?
Well, we need to continue doing what we do, which is transition and playing defense. And I think we got a little tired in the first half. We really got off to a good start. Isle Port got into a little bit of foul trouble. That slowed us down a little bit. In the second half, we got to keep doing what we started the game doing.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the game, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Alicia. Thanks to Coach Reeser and Coach Cook for taking a moment to spend with us. We will take a break, come back with the start of the second half. We're tied up, 29 all. Osseo Maple Grove, more girls basketball next on 12 Sports.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
29-0 as we get set to start the second half at Maple Grove. Ryan, you heard both coaches saw the first half. What are your thoughts on the second half and what they had to say?
Well, I want to touch on Coach Reeser there for Osseo, talking about we knew we were going to see that zone. Shots didn't fall. I have to almost disagree. I think Osseo was having so much success being aggressive, getting into the basket, getting into the paint, getting easy baskets. That zone defense, they just get tentative. And when they were able to get in the middle and attack that, they got to stay in that mindset, John, because athletically wise and size wise, I think they can score whenever they do get the ball down low. So they got to really kind of change their focus, attack that zone, don't be passive against it. And on the flip side, I thought Maple Grove did a nice job to adjusting to Osseo's pressure man-to-man defense. And Kayla Jones got them going. And if they can, the key for Maple Grove, if they shoot the ball well, they're going to be in this game, because I don't know if they can consistently get to the basket. So if their jumper is not hitting, it's going to be hard for them. But they were able to finally open up the floodgates there and knock down some jumpers.
Osseo first possession of the second half. Malone's pass, Russell trying to get it off for Port. It's an early turnover for the Orioles. Barker will bring it up for Maple Grove. And then a pass given away and a turnover for Maple Grove on the pass by Winter. Russell passing off for Reed. Port spins and scores.
Great unselfish play there, and that's what Osseo does. They got to drive, get down to the paint, and they got the horses there that can finish around there, you know, with Port, with Russell and Reed. So they got to continue to do that. Turnovers too. Maple Grove handled the pressure pretty well there in the first half. They can't turn the ball over.
Kayla Jones, 2 more. She's got 14 points.
Well, and it helps too when you can do that. Just come right off a screen and knock down a 17-footer.
Reed a little bit short on that shot in the paint. And here's Parker for Maple Grove. Lob down low. Haggard a little too strong. Malone knocked it away. It's off Winter. Or excuse me, off Malone. And it's Maple Grove that'll inbound. Schmidt in for Winter. Now for the Crimson.
Well, surprisingly, too, Maple Grove, really nice job on the offensive glass. They're keeping a lot of possessions going, getting second, third chances. I thought Osseo would do a better job on the rebounds, but give Maple Grove credit. Those are effort plays, hustle plays.
Bourbonnais tries, and this one won't go. Port had position, gets the rebound. Maddie Malone to Reed, kicks it back out Port. Spin and leave it out top. Here's Russell for 3 and drains it.
I really like Kiara Russell's game. She had that bam, quick back-to-back crossover dribble, got into rhythm. She's got a nice looking jump shot, great arc on the ball.
And then gets the steal at the other end. To the middle to Port, high off the glass and scores.
Well, usually great defense. They get a steal, will lead to easy buckets in transition. That's a tough play. Io Port, she's a center pretty much. She sprints the floor to catch the ball in transition, come down with it. Almost looked like she got fouled too, and to finish that on a full sprint, that is not easy to do, John. That was a heck of a basketball play.
Quick 5-0 run for the Orioles.
And you want to do that, especially in these, Maple Grove Osseo rivalry. You don't want to get this home crowd into it. That's what you do. You come out strong, try to take some of the energy out.
Jones able to answer. 16 points for her.
I was going to say, if they didn't have her, she's the only one right now that's able to create her own shot, kind of get wherever she wants to get on the floor, and she's been a lifesaver here so far.
Jones pass, I think he was waiting for Russell to cut. Didn't happen, and it's a turnover.
And you can see Kayla Jones, she cuts right there. I mean, that's a tough basket. She's running away, floating away. She's got Kiara Russell in her face right there. Doesn't even hardly look at the basket, just flips it up. That's what scorers do. They just have a feel when they're by the basket, what angle to go off the backboard. And isn't it funny too, John? Scorers seem to always get open. Somehow they find a way to get open and put themselves in a position where when they catch it, they're able to do something with it.
Katera Etheridge, 5'8" junior guard, in for Osseo for the first time. Jones missing. Loose ball scooped up by Ari Jones. Leading the break back off to Port. Trying to get it off for Etheridge on the baseline pass. It's out of bounds.
Yeah, and you can see it. Look at her. She looks disgusted. She knows that she caught the ball on the block there. She's got to just power up. At worst, maybe you get a draw the contact, you get a foul, or you miss a shot and you give your team a chance for an offensive rebound. Instead, turning the ball away, you get no shot.
Down low and missing on the blockers, Haggard. Port to Reed, who's going out of bounds, got it back to Port. Malone left open for a 3, too long. And Jones rebounds. Kayla Jones.
And they're lucky. Maddie Malone, her feet are set. She's a very good shooter. She's not going to miss too many of those.
Schmidt pass, and we're going to whistle a foul on Jones. It'll be the third on Ari Jones, either only player on either team with more than 2 fouls. And she'll come out and Russell back in.
I'll tell you, John, if you take Kayla Jones out of the mix, I think Osseo's going to dare Maple Grove players to beat their guys one-on-one. I feel like they think they can stay in front of all their matchups with that exception of Kayla Jones. And that's why Kayla being a good shooter and being able to create for herself has been really huge tonight.
Bourbonnais for Jones. Etheridge defending her from behind commits the foul.
You know, there they try to get her on the block in the post. I mean, she's got such good balance of being able to score inside and outside. They got to continue to get Kayla open in space and try to get her the ball. They do it right here. And that's a great move with the left hand.
Missed the shot, though, and Osseo rebounds. Here's Russell. Short on her attempt. Then the rebound by Barta. Back comes Maple Grove. Haggart. Bourbonnais into the lane. Blocked this time by Reed. Etheridge loses the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, too. Great defense. Osseo had a 3-on-1 right there, and I know that's not how Coach Reeser likes to run his fast breaks. You got 3-on-1. You dribble, you get a defender to lock in, and then you make an unselfish play, let your teammate get an easy layup. They got to come out of that with at least 2 points.
30-second timeout taken by Osseo.
Well, and you know, we were talking about their schedules. I mean, Northwest Suburban girls basketball is a tough conference. I mean, you got obviously Hopkins every year out of the Lake. Eden Prairie usually has a good team, but it's got to be a top 1 or 2, maybe 3 girls basketball conferences, at least in the state of Minnesota. Just so much depth. You know, the top team could lose to a bottom team really at any time. It's really good basketball.
The Centennial and Champlin Park and Park Center, I think maybe this year considered perhaps the top 3. But these clubs are right there, maybe a little bit below them. Although, you know, Osseo just beat Champlin Park last week, so I don't know if you can say that. And Anoka's got a good club. So, yeah, you get half a dozen very good teams, I think, in this league. Shot coming up short, but rebound by Haggart. Kicks it back out to Bourbonnais. Here's a 3-point try for Barta. That's off the mark, but Maple Grove keeps it alive. Tie up. Jump ball. It'll be Maple Grove basketball.
Well, and again, John, Maple Grove extending these possessions, getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th offensive rebounds. You know, and it comes down to math. The more possessions you have, even if you're not shooting well or playing well, you're getting 10, 15, 20 more possessions in a game. You're likely to score at least a couple times out of that. And in a close game, I mean, 2, 3, 4 points can be the difference. So offensive rebounds are huge. Maple Grove doing a great job of getting on the offensive glass too.
Ball knocked away. It's out of bounds. It'll go over to Maple Grove. Haley Swanson back in for the Orioles.
It's kind of got that sloppy feel right now, too, doesn't it, John? Like either team really executing great or taking great care. A lot of tips, a lot of loose balls, a lot of drops, and neither team offensively, I think, it's really been sharp tonight. But a lot of that can be attributed to good defense, too.
Eckberg bounce pass on the inbound to Haggart. Out for Schmidt, open for the jumper. And she gets fouled on the follow through by Swanson.
Yeah, John, you never want to be critical of referees anywhere, but Swanson that time put her hand up and actually turned the box out. And that's where they got her on the foul there, is boxing out, counted that as part of the shot. So unfortunate. That's a good play there defensively trying to finish that possession, but it led to 2 free throws.
Now Schmidt, who averages 5 points per game, gets her first 2 of the night here. Allie Winter back in, and Julie Haggart will get a rest.
Well, and Allie Schmidt, you talked about too. She's actually their leading rebounder too, at almost 5 rebounds a game. So she comes in off the bench and gives them a nice lift and able to score, but also does a great job rebounding the basketball.
Deep 3 for Russell is good. Kiara Russell with her 3rd triple of the game. She has 16 points.
Yeah, great looking shot. Her feet are set. She's got great arc on that ball. Nice follow through. If I'm Maple Grove, I'm going to have an awareness on where Russell is and do not let her get her feet set and get a good look at the basket.
Jump shot up and in. Eckberg scoring.
That's good basketball, very unselfish. They get to the middle, and Ekberg's got a nice touch for a 5'11 junior. Great touch. She hit a 3 in the first half. That time stopped on a dime, elevated, nice mid-range pull-up.
Etheridge from 10 on the baseline is fouled, and she'll shoot 2.
Etheridge, that's a great offensive move right there. You show the ball, she rips it through to her right side, which is to the baseline. One hard dribble, she drew the foul, pull-up jumper, great move. Now you got to make them pay. When you get fouled, you got to make your free throws.
Incater makes the first one.
Well, no surprise, John, but I think this one's going to go down to the wire. They're going to wave that off. They're going to say that she was actually a free throw violation. She was across the free throw line. Looked like she was going to follow that up. Maybe thought she was going to be short on it. Instead, she crossed the line, so no made free throw. They're going to negate that.
Driving the basket and scoring is Kenzie Barta.
One of the few times today, John, where Osseo's defense breaks down. Barta able to get all the way uncontested for an easy layup. There just has not been a lot of easy baskets for Maple Grove.
15 bench points for the Crimson in the game. They trail by 1.
Well, we talked about balance. You know, both teams have good balance, a lot of capable scorers. They both play a lot of girls off their bench, and Maple Grove really can go 7, 8, 9 deep, all capable of scoring, 4 to 10 points. So, and tonight the depth in the bench has been huge.
That pass off of Swanson's hand, out of bounds. .10:35 to go, second half. Crimson looking to go back in front. Jones, baseline, cut off, gets it back out. Open players, Winter, shot won't go. Rebound by Russell.
Great driving kick right there, too. Kayla Jones drove baseline. She got Winter a wide open look. Got to knock those down.
Port. Baseline up and in. And it's Courtney Calkins with her second basket tonight.
Look at the hustle by Port, too. And now down on the offensive end, she's got a nice job. Maple Grove's got to just stay put. If you watch this, Port gets it down low. They bring the double team as Ekberg came over to double. I don't think Port merits that double team down low. She hasn't done enough one-on-one in the post. They could probably play her straight up. Instead, you leave a shooter open, and they're able to get a nice, good look. Unselfish play by Port.
Port rebounds the Ekberg miss.
To Osseo's credit, if you can surround, Port with some good shooters, maybe he'll free her up down low, and then in return get some open looks for some of these shooters.
Into the lane, the drive, we get a foul before the shot by Ari Jones. Fouls on Mackenzie Barta. And Haley Parker back in for Maple Grove. And another timeout taken by Osseo. They have 2 remaining. Maple Grove still with 4 timeouts remaining.
Well, both teams play tonight. Both teams again play on Thursday. It's always nice to go into that Christmas break, John, when you're playing well. You maybe won a game or 2. Practices are a lot more fun. There's usually a good week or so before you have another game. So it was always fun to win that last game or 2 before a break. You feel good. You feel like you can go home, eat good meals, get good presents. You're not worried about not playing well or coming off of a bad loss. So these are big games, and of course, we talked about it all broadcast, this rivalry between Osseo and Maple Grove. These girls are going to see each other over the holidays. They want to be able to tell their friends, hey, we beat them. We got bragging rights right now. So it's a lot riding on this game.
All-time series between these two teams. Osseo leads 28-10. They won the first 12 games of the series starting back in the 96-97 school year when Maple Grove High School opened. The last 2 years, these teams have split evenly 1-1 during the regular season. Have not met in the playoffs in a few years now. Missed shot by Osseo, rebounded by Maple Grove, looking to cut into that 3-point deficit.
And that was Calkins, and her feet were set. She's usually a pretty accurate shooter. Of course, you could hear the Maple Grove student section letting her know that that one was off target a little bit.
Bourbonnais, dish
nice.
off to Schmidt, and she's fouled with shoot 2. Foul will be on Ari Jones. That'll be her 4th.
And Bourbonnais, I've been pretty impressed with her. She's going to the basket there. That was not an easy pass. She was all the way on the right side of the basket, kind of wrapped it around, and was able to find Schmidt cutting to the basket. Nice unselfish play.
Schmidt's first free throw is good. She has made all 3 of her free throws here in the second half. For the game, Maple Grove 5 out of 6 from the line. Osseo 4 out of 6.
And Allie, you know, another 5'11", only a sophomore. They think she's going to have a really bright future. You can see she's got a great looking jump shot. Nice touch.
Port rebounds the missed second free throw, and then going to get a foul. No, ball knocked out of bounds by Schmidt. Thought we were going to have a foul call, but it's instead touched by Schmidt, and we'll have an inbound for Osseo.
It seems like every time Maple Grove gets it tied or within one possession, Osseo's had an answer. They've been able to get a bucket here. We'll see if they can continue to do that down the stretch. Maple Grove picking up the intensity of their man-to-man defense.
Etheridge jumper is good.
You know, it's funny, John, you watch basketball and you can just tell when a player's in a nice rhythm, they got a good pace to a move. And Etheridge that time just really, really good rhythm, jumped right into it. You could tell that shot was going to be good.
Maple Grove was in some trouble. Coach Cook could sense that and gets a timeout for his team.
Yeah, you see that? Look at that. Nice one dribble right into it. Great form, good footwork. Straight up, straight down. That's a nice looking jump shot. And that mid-range jumper, you know, girls, young girls out there watching this, develop that because not a lot of people can defend it and not a lot of people can execute it. You know, you got a lot of specialists that can either shoot threes or they can either play down low. But if you can just show that ball, get into the lane, and then just stop and elevate and make that, you know, 10 to 12 footer, that really is, it's a lost art. That's a talent. That was a nice looking jump shot by Etheridge.
Both of these teams will be in holiday tournaments right after Christmas, as Maple Grove will head up to St. Michael Albertville for a couple of games, and Osseo will be in the Hopkins tournament. Dick's Sporting Goods Classic also always has a good field of teams, and they'll open up against Minnetonka in the quarterfinals.
John, back when I was in high school, we always went to Rochester.
Oh,
playing
sure.
a big holiday tournament, and the highlight was always eating that Shakey's Pizza Buffet. They're the best pizza buffet in the country, and I heard that last year they closed down, so very sad to hear that.
Now, Osseo boys played in that tournament for a number of years as well. Haley Eckberg scoring, or excuse me, Mary Eckberg scoring for Maple Grove out of that timeout. At the other end, the shot comes up short for Etheridge, and a rebound for the Crimson, and a chance for them to tie or go ahead with a 3.
Well, and just like we pointed out in her last shot, where she had great rhythm, that time it was a little forced, driving to her left. She never got her feet set. The shot was contested. Much different outcome. That was a nice backdoor cut by Eckberg. You know, Eckberg's got a nice basketball IQ too. She seems to know when to go backdoor, how to position herself. So when she does catch it, she's in a good position to score, and a really unselfish play. And all the guards really for both of these teams do a nice job. They keep their heads up so they can see what activity's going on. Hard to pass or know where to go when your head's aimed down.
.44-42. Barker backing it out toward midcourt. Picks up the dribble, gets the pass to Eckberg, who's fouled from behind by Reed.
Well, keep an eye, John, on the bonus situation. That's 5 team fouls already on Osseo. I have a feeling that fouls and free throws could play a role as we head down the stretch here.
Jones tried to back down her defender, then kicks it back out for a 3. Bourbonnais miss. Long rebound to the corner. And displayed, Bourbonnais run into the stands to try to get a piece of it and keep it in play. It's out to Osseo.
You can't fault Kayla Jones there for making that pass. It was a great unselfish play. But you're down 2, you know, under 8 minutes. you got the ball on the block, one-on-one. That's where you best player has got to just make a move and get a basket down there, at least get a good shot off. Again, it was a very unselfish play, but I guarantee you, Coach Cook, anytime Kayla gets the ball on the block, he would want her to score.
Reed trying to get it to Etheridge. Maple Grove gets the steal.
Not a time to be cute, John. One-handed passes. This is a time, end of the ball game situations. You got to take care of the ball. You can't have unforced turnovers. You know, there was nothing special about that defense, just a lazy pass.
And a steal here for Maple Grove as for Osseo. Reed got a hand on it, and then Russell misses the layup. Back come the Crimson. Ahead to Kayla Jones. Lob down low to Haggard. Lost her footing. Maple Grove thought there should have been a foul. That tangled up with Etheridge. Back comes Osseo. Port from Malone scores.
What a change there. Looked like Maple Grove was going to get an easy bucket, tie the game. Instead, fall down, no call. And on the other end, Io Port running the floor hard, getting another layup.
Shot up and in. A rolls down for Haggard.
Well, she averages just under 10 points. Very capable scoring. You can see she uses both hands really well down in the post.
Malone's three is long. Off of Reed, out of bounds. Bourbonnais with the feed. Haggard, the runner up and in.
That's not an easy shot. A left-hander from about 7 feet away. You got a defender pushing into your body like that. That is a very, very skilled shot. And she made it look easy. And that's the kind of thing you can see Coach Cook's reaction. Just discuss it. I mean, again, that's that unforced error. And when I say that, you know, for everyone, I don't mean they're trying to make a play and they dribble off their foot. I mean, there was no reason for that turnover. It was just a pass that went out of bounds. And, you know, those are the kind of plays, turnovers, that coaches just hate to see. You know, if you're Osseo now, you're going to start to think about you're up 2. You know, it's okay to take a minute, you know, minute and a half off the clock every possession. Get a good shot, no turnovers here. See if you can get it down low. Put some pressure on this Maple Grove defense.
Schmidt defending Port gets whistled for a foul.
I like what Osseo is doing. They're going 4 around 1. Putting Port right down low on the block. Oh, nice out of bounds. Nice underneath play. They set a screen, the screener. Oh, beautiful basketball. Swanson set that screen, and then she got a back screen. You got to have help there. Got to have defenders there. Instead, it's an easy layup.
Swanson getting her first bucket. Turn around in the paint, and 2 for Schmidt.
Well, she turned around. She didn't realize she was wide open. Turned around, was almost shocked that there was no defender there, and realized how easy a look it was, and was able to capitalize.
Calkins misses from 15.
Well, that's a quick shot that you don't need right there. Not a bad shot. Time and possession, time and score. You're up 2, time running down. You can get that shot whenever you want.
Drops through for Haggard. We're tied up. $48 with just over 4.5 minutes to go in the basketball game. We're tied at halftime. We're tied again. Osseo's led most of the way. Maple Grove a couple of 1-point leads, and that's been it.
Now, if you're Osseo, this is smart. You're taking time off. You want to get the ball in either Russell, Reed, or Port's hands.
Russell, 3. Didn't drop this time. She's made 3 of those, and that's one wouldn't go. Bourbonnais for Maple Grove. Across for Kayla Jones. Down low, Haggard turns and scores.
Well, and that time we saw her go to the left earlier. That time she turns over her left shoulder. A nice turnaround right-handed jump shot. She's very skilled down there.
3-point shot, good. Excuse me, it's a 2-pointer made by Etheridge. And a timeout on the floor.
I love it. Yeah, I love the confidence of Etheridge. We're going to see the Maple Grove possession. You know, and watch Haggard here. Nice turnaround fadeaway shot using her height and her body. And then on the other side, Etheridge. Oh, that was close, John. That looked like her foot was behind the line there. They counted it as a 2. That was very, very close, but you love the confidence of Etheridge. She shows, like I said, when she's in rhythm like that, steps into it. She's got a great looking jump shot. Yeah, we'll see. We're going to take a look at the replay. Oh, yeah, it looked like her right toe might have been right on the line. That's pretty close. Either way, it's a nice jump shot. She knocks it down. As Coach Rick Patino, not Richard, Rick would say that's the worst shot in all basketball.
Right.
Take 1 inch further back, make that thing worth 3. Either way, it ties the ball game, and it's going to come down to who can handle pressure. Osseo's going to turn up the defensive pressure here, look for steals. Can Maple Grove handle it and execute their offense? And on the flip side, for Osseo, where do you go? You've had the hot hand of Kiara Russell, Azaria Reed down low, Io Porte, and then of course, in the last few possessions, Etheridge has stepped up too. So you got a lot of options on the offensive end for Osseo.
Ryan, we saw a lot offensively from Reed in the first half, especially early. 10 points, but all in the first half. Has not scored here in the second half. Yep. Not had a ton of touches either. Tried with the basket by Barta, and she's fouled by Porton. She'll shoot 2.
Interesting call there as the referee right under the basket, who was right there by the play. I mean, that looked like pretty sound defense, and the referee on the front court is the one that made that call. So, but you know what? I give credit to Maple Grove. You attack the basket, you put pressure on the Osseo defense, and you put pressure on the referees to make that call. So smart offense. But to get back to what you were talking about, about Azaria Reed, only a 9th grader. Part of that's being a freshman too. You're going to be inconsistent. You're going to have spurts where you're great. You're going to have spurts where you maybe get lost a little bit out there.
Barta makes the free throws, and it's 52-50 Crimson. Under 3.5 to go. Malone for a 3. Instead drives. A little floater, won't go. Taps the ball and can't save it. No, it's off Maple Grove though. Crimson fans can't believe that.
Well, Osseo fortunate here to get another possession. You can see either Darren Io Porte. Oh, look at the move.
God, huh?
I love that strong move. She just said, you know what? I'm going to go right. You know I'm going to go right. But there's nothing you can do about it. She was just powered up.
Jones puts a shot up, and it's fouled by Russell.
Yeah, watch this there. Darren Port to shoot this jump shot. Said she just powers right through, and that's a heck of a move, big time move. She answers it. On the flip side, Kayla Jones, gonna get 2 free throws. Not the player you want to see at the free throw line if you're an Osseo fan.
The 75% free throw shooter on the season. He makes them both. The 6 points for her in the second half, 18 in the game. Crimson again by 2. Reed tried to force it into Port and gave it right to Kayla Jones, and gives it right back to Russell. Ahead for Port. Nice step inside, a reverse and score.
What a move. I thought she was going to power that on the right side and try to draw contact. Instead, she shows off her athleticism, steps through with a right-handed reverse on the left side. What a back and forth game, John.
54 all under 2.5 minutes to go.
Seems like both teams, every time they've needed a bucket or needed an answer, they've been able to get it.
Down to the block, and Haggard couldn't control it. Turnover, Maple Grove.
Well, and if Osseo goes here, they got numbers. Great play.
Port taking the pass from Reed and scores. Osseo's back in front.
How about the freshman on that time? Azaria Reed gets it, does a little dipsy-do to the cutting Io Port. Big players make big plays in big games. Io Port has really stepped it up here the last couple minutes to give Osseo a 2-point lead as we get under 2 minutes to play.
Haggard to Schmidt in the corner, back out, 1:40 to go. Down low to Haggard through the double team and traveled.
That's the right call there. You can see Maple Grove trying to force the issue. Great defense by Russell. Look at the nibble there. Io Port steps through the defender. That is not an easy bucket. And look at this freshman, no look bounce pass to the cutting Port. 2 big buckets for Port to give Osseo a 2-point lead. Now again, if you're Osseo, this is about experience here. You don't need to score another point. You need to take time off the clock There's no reason to force anything here.
Helped out with a foul call there on Maple Grove.
If I'm Coach Reeser, I'm telling my girls, listen, make them foul you, take care of the basketball, don't take any chances. The scoreboard and the clock, they're our buddies right now.
Spin move into the basket. Oh, traveling called on Reed. Oh, that would have put them up by 4.
Wow, I don't know about that. Let's take a look. Huh. Looked like a pretty good footwork,
Yeah.
A heck of a spin move right there. I would have let that one go. You can see the intensity here on the defensive side of the ball for Osseo really picked up.
Minute to go in the game. Crimson trail by 2. Shot up and in by Julie Haggard. 8 points here in the second half, and it's tied at 56. Timeout, Maple Grove.
How big, John, has she been down the stretch? They've gotten her the ball on both sides of the basket. This time, they get it to her on the right block. She flashes. Watch this move. That's just a great power move. She get a little Kevin McHale, faked a little left, comes back strong to the right. The kiss off the glass. She's done it right-handed, left-handed, cutting to the basket, posting up, fadeaway jump shots, jump hooks, left-handed. She's done it all. She's been big here in the second half.
A terrific basketball game to kick off our live doubleheader tonight from Maple Grove High School. Osseo and Maple Grove boys varsity to tip off at around 8 o'clock. We invite you to stay tuned for coverage of that one as well.
Well, if I'm Coach Reeser right now, I'm telling my girls, listen, we want to hold this for the last shot. We want to take a shot, with 5-6 seconds left. No turnovers, no unnecessary gambles. If you got a layup or you got a really great look, take it. You don't want to be passive. But at the same time, you want to make sure that if the worst case scenario, you head to overtime, you don't want to give Maple Grove the ball back with time to get a shot out.
Can you hold it for 52 seconds?
Well, they haven't been able to yet. But this is where, you take your time, you dribble, weave, you look for back doors, things like that. But this is where they miss, their seniors as far as Janae Morton, Phyllis Webb, girls that were used to playing in big moments that can handle the ball, that can, take the pressure, absorb the pressure, play with comfort, but don't play fast. You want to play quick, you don't want to play fast.
John Wooden.
Ryan Iverson.
Yeah, well, one of you said it first, I'm not sure which one.
Like that.
Malone fouled out high by Barker. That's only the 5th team foul on Maple Grove, though, so no shooting yet for Osseo.
But case in point, there's no reason they actually, Maddie Malone's lucky she didn't call for a travel. But there's no reason to press that ball like that. You got to just relax, settle down, and make sure that you guys get the last shot here.
Malone front court with 40 seconds left. Lobs it down low and a block by Haggard out of bounds as she blocks Kiara Russell.
Got a nice block right here. No harm, no foul. Ball's out of bounds. Osseo is going to get the ball back. What a great catch, first and foremost by Kiara Russell. That ball looked like it was going to go out of bounds. Great athleticism just to go up and get that.
Maple Grove uses a timeout. Each team with just one timeout remaining now in the game.
Well, I asked this question, John, with almost 40 seconds left, right? Why are you getting something already that quick going to the basket? Unless it's a clear-cut backdoor or a layup.
I can see your agitation level rising, Ryan, as the game goes on here. These little points.
No, it's not at all that. It's fun. These are end-of-game situations, and there's so many strategies a part of basketball. This is a position when you're Osseo, when you have the ball, tie game, you can't lose it in regulation. Right. Like I said, the worst comes to worst. You don't get a shot off, or you miss a shot, you go into overtime. This is a situation that you work on day in and day out, and it's fun to see your girls out there executing in a heavy pressure. Now this is what you play for, is to get in games like this, rivalries like this. The excitement level's high. Channel 12 is here covering the game. What more could you want?
Your point is they've tried to go for scoring opportunities very early, and you don't want to miss a shot and still give Maple Grove a good 25, 30 seconds to come down and set something up. Let's see what they do here. The 30, and Russell is cutting to the basket, took the pass from Malone, draws the foul, and Russell will go to the line to shoot 2.
Oh, and that was a well-designed play. Backdoor, Maple Grove's pressuring the defense. What do? You go backdoor. And Kiara Russell, nice cut. Maddie Malone finds her.
Russell misses the free throw. She was 3 out of 4 from the line in the first half. 16 points in the game, but misses this one.
These are big.
Second one is good for the sophomore, and Osseo's in front by a point.
You know, now it's different if you're Maple Grove. You're down 1, so you need a bucket.
Osseo used its final timeout with.
You see Coach Cook drawing up a play. You know what I always like to do when I coach in the college level, John, is in this situation, score and time, I can always come out with a design play, see if I can get a really easy layup, you know, a quick, easy one. If it's not there, I run it down to about 12 to 14 seconds, call timeout, I come out with another set play. You don't want to necessarily wait to the last shot when you're down, because you want a chance for either an offensive rebound opportunity, or if you do need to foul, then you've left a few seconds where you can then get another possession after the free throws. And it's important to note too that, both teams will be in the bonus here. There's 6 team fouls on Maple Grove.
Yeah, the last foul was their 6.
Yep.
So neither team in the double bonus. Possession arrow, if we get a tie-up, favoring Osseo. Inbound will be by Schmidt along her own baseline. And able to get it in to Kenzie Barta. Draws a double team in the backcourt, and a foul on Osseo, and a 1-on-1 for Barta at the other end. Fouls on Reed.
Yeah, you're fouling 70 feet away from the basket right there. I like the idea, Osseo, what they're doing is putting pressure, trapping the ball handler right there. When you're in a press, you got to put your foot on the baseline, cut that sideline off so there's nowhere to go.
Barta trying to tie it up, and does.
There wasn't an ounce of hesitation by Barta, the sophomore. Again, what a great experience and situation for her to be in, and she stepped up. There's no doubt about that first free throw.
Misses the second. So we're tied at 57, 25 seconds to play. No timeouts left for Osseo. Port holding with 15 seconds to go.
Nice patience right here. You don't want to wait too long where you end up, having to throw up a bad shot.
Malone is fouled by Kayla Jones and will shoot 2. Jones thought she had a clean block.
Wow.
Take a look, Coach Iverson. What do you think?
Yeah, Maddie Malone, the senior. Oh,
a lot of ball there.
Pretty
a lot of orange.
Block. Well, sometimes you gotta, you're an actor. You gotta sell it. You grunt a little bit. And
Malone in and out.
I give Maddie Malone a lot of credit putting the pressure on. Let's take a look if there was any body involved in that. You can see a little hand check right there, but otherwise that's a pretty clean block.
Malone gets the second. Osseo back up by a point. Maple Grove will use its final timeout.
Well, 5.6 seconds, a lot of time. A lot of time to go the length of the court and actually get a very good shot off. Neither team has any timeout, so that's going to be key here. Obviously, Osseo is going to try to deny that inbound pass. Take a watch for the 5-second call. Remember, too, that underneath the whoever's passing the ball in, John, can run baseline to baseline. And see, they want to get that ball, obviously, in the middle of the floor, turn it upfield, up court. and see if you can get your shooters on each side of you. Get one of your, Kayla Jones or Mary Eckberg, one of your shooters, a good look here. But like I said, 5.6, still a lot of time left to get a very good quality shot off. And of course, if you're Osseo on the flip side, you're telling your good girls, you do not want to foul. Do not foul. There's no reason to get a steal. There's no reason to hand check. Just play good defense, get a hand up, make them make an unbelievable shot.
And they do pressure in the backcourt. They're going to make the Crimson work for it. Bourbonnais. Now the pass to the front court. And off the hands and off Haggart and out of bounds. So they pressure the ball on the sideline on the pass. And the inbound pass comes to Malone and the game is over. And Osseo wins it 58-57.
What a game. What a game. I thought when they were bringing that ball up, John, Maple Grove, that they were in great position. If they could have just kept attacking, maybe at least you want to get a shot off in that opportunity. But really well played by both teams. Both teams played really hard. Really fun game to do it, too.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with our post game in a moment. Osseo defeats Maple Grove 58-57 the final. We're back to Maple Grove High School after this timeout.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
58-57, Osseo pulls out a thriller. They go to 4-1 on the season. Alicia Deniez is standing by with a couple of winning and very happy Osseo Orioles.
Yes, thank you, John. I got point guard Manny Malone and guard Kiera Russell. Maddie, you controlled the offense the whole game. It was very back and forth. What was the biggest challenge?
Their defense. They have really good defense, so we had times where we weren't playing together, but we just came together and put it down, I guess.
And you took the line for that free throw to put Osseo ahead. How did that feel?
Unbelievable. There was nerves all through my body. I tried to block the crowd out, and I just finished it.
That's great. Well, Kiera, you were very successful tonight. 17 points, 3 three-pointers. Why do you think you did so well?
I don't know. I just came out here and played my game. I try to block out the crowd as much as I can. Yeah, the team really did a really good job of giving me the ball, and yeah, came out with the win.
It's still early in the season. What have you learned from your team so far?
That we have a very great offense, and we just don't know that yet, but once we push through it and hold on, I'm still nervous.
You have a lot to take in. You just won a huge conference game. How do you carry this momentum into the holiday tournaments?
It's really good. I feel good about it. And we as a team, we deserve more wins like this.
Well, congratulations, you two. I'll toss it back up to you, John.
All right, thanks very much. Kiera was more nervous at the interview maybe during the game, Ryan. It played a terrific game, and Osseo pulls out a win, their second win in a row. Nice win for them after beating Champlain Park. They come back. A little unsteady at times after Maple Grove had rallied, but they pull out the win at the end on the Maddie Malone free throw late.
Well, you talk about it. That's a dream. That's what you dream about, being a young player, is being at the line, tie game, not much time left, and your big rival, you step up, you knock one down. And, John, every time Maple Grove seemed to maybe get back in the game, tie the game, about to take the lead, give, a ton of credit in the world to Osseo. Every time they had an answer. Io Port was huge down the stretch like we thought she would be, and Just a great win on the road for Osseo. That really will help them set the tone for 2014 and for the Northwest Suburban Conference play.
Kayla Jones leads Maple Grove with 18 points. Kiara Russell 17 and Niall Port 16 for Osseo, and the Orioles win it by 1. That'll do it for our telecast tonight. For Alicia Denius, Ryan Iverson, and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. Osseo Maple Grove boys basketball coming up just before 8 o'clock tonight on this Tuesday night on Channel 12. I'm John Jacobson, and the Osseo girls go to 4-1, beat Maple Grove 58-57.